Good evening, and welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I am your host, Barbara, and we're glad you're joining us tonight for another edition of in-depth analysis and discussion on the latest news from around the world. We begin tonight with a significant development from Central America, where the Panama Canal continues to be a topic of international interest. The canal, which connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, has been a crucial waterway for global trade since its construction over a century ago. Recently, concerns have been raised in Panama following suggestions by former U.S. President Donald Trump that the United States might reconsider its decision to return control of the canal to Panama. In response to these concerns, a new documentary titled The Panama Canal Treaties, Son of Tiger and Mule has shed light on the historical negotiations that led to the transfer of the canal's control from the United States to Panama. The film, directed by Annie Canavaggio, explores the complex web of international diplomacy and intrigue that ultimately resulted in the signing of the Torrijos-Carter Agreements in 1977. This documentary has resonated with audiences in Panama, where it has become one of the top-grossing films since its release on March 13. The film's success is a testament to the ongoing relevance of this chapter in contemporary history. As President Trump's comments have shown, the issue of the Panama Canal remains a sensitive topic, and the documentary provides valuable context for understanding the complex geopolitical dynamics at play. The acquisition of worldwide sales rights by Rio de Janeiro-based Habanero Film Sales will likely bring this important story to a broader international audience. The film's director, by Annie Canavaggio, has expressed her desire to educate younger generations about the challenges involved in reclaiming the canal from the United States and the significance of this event in Panamanian history. As we continue to follow developments related to the Panama Canal, it is essential to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. The transfer of control was a significant milestone in the relationship between the United States and Panama, reflecting a shift towards greater cooperation and mutual respect. However, as global politics continues to evolve, it is crucial that we remain informed about the historical context that shapes current events. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara, and we're glad you're joining us again for this middle segment of our show. Today we're diving into a critical issue that's been making headlines in the UK: organized immigration crime. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has convened an international summit in London to tackle this pressing concern, bringing together representatives from 40 countries to share strategies and coordinate efforts. As we explore this complex topic, it's essential to acknowledge the frustrations and concerns of the British public. Many citizens are indeed angry about illegal migration, and rightly so. The issue is multifaceted, with implications for border security, public services, and the well-being of migrants themselves, who often fall prey to exploitation. Prime Minister Starmer has emphasized that his government is committed to restoring security and fairness to the system. In an article published today, he writes, "British people are compassionate and fair-minded. But we all pay the price for insecure borders, from the cost of accommodating migrants to the strain on our public services." He also recognizes the human cost of illegal migration, noting that many migrants are victims of appalling exploitation. The summit aims to spearhead an international crackdown on organized immigration crime, with a focus on cooperation and information sharing between countries. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper is also playing a key role in the event, highlighting the need for a coordinated approach to address this global challenge. As we consider the complexities of this issue, it's crucial to strike a balance between compassion and fairness. We must prioritize the security and well-being of both migrants and host communities, while also acknowledging the economic and social implications of illegal migration. We'll continue to monitor developments from the summit and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we invite our listeners to share their thoughts and perspectives on this critical issue. How do you think governments can effectively address organized immigration crime while balancing compassion and fairness? Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbarous Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbarous Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I want to bring your attention to a devastating story that's been unfolding in Southeast Asia. A powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck the region on Friday, causing widespread destruction and claiming over 2,000 lives. The quake has affected both Myanmar and Thailand, with cities like Sagaing and Mandalay being particularly hard hit. As rescue efforts continue, teams are racing against time to save those trapped under the rubble. The first 72 hours after a disaster like this are crucial, and unfortunately, that window is quickly closing. Despite the challenges, there have been reports of miraculous rescues, and aid is pouring in from around the world. Myanmar's military junta has made a rare plea for international humanitarian aid, which has been answered by countries like China, Russia, and the United States. The U.S. has pledged $2 million in aid to be funded through local organizations, while China has sent over 135 rescue workers and experts, along with $13.8 million in aid. However, the destruction has made it difficult for rescue teams to reach certain areas, with critical infrastructure like bridges being destroyed. Communication systems are also down, making it hard for teams to coordinate their efforts in real time. As we report on this story, we want to acknowledge the complexity of the situation and the many challenges that come with responding to a disaster of this scale. We also want to recognize the resilience and courage of those affected, who are working tirelessly to rebuild and recover. That's all for today's Barbarous Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.